Alright, welcome back. So again, we've already done pinging. So if you can see in our screen here, it's only the server that I'm showing you right now, because most of the configuration will be done in the server. And after all of the configuration, we will be connecting later the client. So that's the only time that we need to check on the client again. At this point, I will check if it's still connected by pinging. Right, so good thing it's still connected. I will be doing right now adding rules. So I can also click here, the server manager, just right beside the start menu, and then add rules. Click here. So add rules, check it here. And the first rules that we will be adding is the ads. So if you see this window, you just click next. So the ads here is the second line. So some of you select the first one. So if you see this window again, add features or required Active Directory domain services, just click add required features. Because again, some of you installed this instead of the Active Directory domain services. So that's technically wrong. Okay, so the second option is the one that you're going to check. You click next, you click next, you click install here, and then you just wait up until the installation is done. Alright, so it's already done, and then just make sure that you can see this green logo with check. So installation succeeded, and we're good to go. We need just to close it, and then we will be adding another rule. So add rules again, but before that, we are going to run first the Dcpromo. So in order for us to do that, we can go to the start menu here and click run and type Dcpromo. Alright, so if you can see this window, I think it's already accessing the option. So checking if Active Directory domain services binaries are installed, and we are sure that's already installed because it's here on the rules. Ads. So some of you as well did not install ads, so they instantly go to Dcpromo, so they have an error. I wasn't able to check it from them. Okay, so welcome to the Active Directory Domain Services Installation Wizard. So please do not check this option here when you see this after Dcpromo. You just click next, and then you click next, and then you will click create a new domain in a new forest. Do not use this existing forest because we do not have yet an existing forest. So create next, and then what's gonna be our domain name? So it's up to you, or it's up to your assessor. So for us, we'll be using WNHS.ICT, 2 words only. So we click next. So checking whether the new forest name is already in use. Again, we are sure that's not in use because this is the first time that we are installing these options here. Alright, so if you see this window, forest functional level. So you select first the server 2008 R2 because this is the one that we installed in this computer. Okay, do not just click next. Please try to read first the options. Try to explore first. Alright, so after selecting Windows Server R2, we're going to click next, and then click next again. You just click yes on this. So for the location, you just click next, and then for the password, we will be using the same password. The admin 12345 and the admin 12345, where letter A is capital. Alright, so we click next. So on this, we always click on reboot on completion. so that everything will be set up and everything will be refreshed. Meaning the domain name will be already accessible when we do the DHCP. So you just click the reboot on completion and then you will log on again later. Alright. So it will take some time. Just be ready on this. The server right now is starting up and it will be ready soon. So why restarting is important, because right now applying computer setting, if you can see all of the changes you made in the Dcpromo option is already being initialized on the startup. So that's how important it is, because you cannot proceed to the next step if you're not going to restart the computer, because the DHCP will find the DNS and so on and so forth. Alright, so right now we're going to access the computer. So if you can see, before it's just only administrator, but after installing the DNS or after the DHCP, we got here WNHS, which is the domain name. Okay, so same password, admin12345. Now it's loading up. So we're done with the ads rule, the Dcpromo option. So right now we will be adding the next rule, which is the DHCP or the dynamic host configuration protocol. Alright, so we'll just wait up until the initial configuration task display. Okay, so it's here. So add rules again, click here on the part 3. One moment. Alright, so we just click next here. So we're done with ads, the DNS server, which is the DHCP, the Dcpromo. So the next is the DHCP server now. So click check on the checkbox. Do not just click on the the name. So click next. So please watch carefully here, because it may be complicated. So okay, network configure bridging, we'll be using the IP address of the server. Click next. So for the preferred DNS server, we will be using again the IP address of the server, which is 192.168.1.1. So after typing it here, you need to check validate. So valid, you click next. And then once the required application is network, you just click next on this. So DHCP scopes, most of you here is confused in they just click next, but this is very important because this range will be provided to the users later. So you need to click add, and the scope name you can just write maybe WNHS, and then starting IP address. So this is the range 192.168.1.100, and then the second one is 192.168.1.200. So this range or the scopes is the IP addresses that will be provided to the user after we create multiple users. So more than 100 users, we can no longer supply them an IP address as long as they are, meaning to say pag online sila lahat, hindi sila makakapag-access because we only have 100 range of IP address here. So we click OK, and then we click this, highlight this, and then check submit mask, the range. Alright, click next. So for this, select DHCP 6. So we need to disable DHCP 6. Okay, so click next. So use current credentials. We will still be using the admin12345 for our password. You just click next, and then checking if all of the information are correct, and then you click install. So that's it. That's very easy in installing the DHCP server. As long as you can remember those steps, you won't experience any problem later. Let's just wait until the installation is complete, and then we will be proceeding to the next step or the next rules. Alright, so since we already done installing the DHCP server, we can also check here that it was a success. We click close, and we click again add rules. Click add rules, and then we will be adding the last rule for this assessment, which is the print and document services. Click next, click next. So just check here the first one. We'll just modify it later if there's any changes. Click install, and then same thing, we need to wait and then maybe pray that you will pass the assessment. I know you can do that. All of you can pass the assessment because you're very bright and very good students. Right? It's almost done. And my next video is all about creating users and then the group policy management. So that's gonna be the part 3 of your assessment. So I want you to please sit back as well and maybe enjoy it later and take note if possible. Alright, so installation completed. As soon as succeeded, we click close here, and then we click close the initial configuration task, and that's it. So please stand by for my next video. Bye.